Roth conversions can be really powerful, but they can also be easy to get wrong. Poor timing, over-converting, and ignoring tax consequences can create expensive surprises. Let's walk through the 5 biggest Roth conversion mistakes and the processes that retirees should understand.
Welcome to Leibel on Fire with Amazon best-selling author and Yields for You portfolio manager, Leibel Sternbach. Leibel on Fire is supported by our ETFs, Yields for You Strategy A, and Relative Strength Managed Volatility. Our mission is to help 1 million people retire with financial security. Now, the Financial Independence and Retirement Show dedicated to helping you build the life of your dreams as fast as possible with as little stress as possible. It's Leibel on Fire.
And again, we're talking about the 5 Roth conversion mistakes that can cost retirees thousands of dollars. What's mistake number 1 and 2, Leibel, that a lot of people make with Roth conversions?
Yeah, so when it comes to Roth conversions, probably the biggest mistake that I see is that people just assume that they need to do Roth conversions. They see all these webinars out there and these classes, and these people say, you got to convert everything, right? And they just make this assumption that advice applies to them. In all my years of doing this, right, and the literally hundreds, probably thousands now, of financial plans I've created for people, I have yet to be able to predict ahead of time whether someone actually needs to do Roth conversions, and even if they did, how aggressive they have to be about going about Roth conversions. Because there are so many factors that come into play when it comes to Roth conversions. So mistake number 1 is assuming that you have to do Roth conversions. And then I would say mistake number 2 right after that is assuming how aggressive you need to do Roth conversions. I've heard people say, oh, I need to convert everything all at once, right? Or I need to convert to the max of my tax bracket or the max of the next tax bracket, or convert to 37% for 5 years, right? And they've got some plan because they're trying to do it before they're 70, before they take Social Security, before RMDs hit, or they're trying to convert and keep under IRMAA. All of these rules that are out there that people advocate and they say like are hard and fast things. These are all mistakes, right? What applies to you is unique to you and your specific circumstances. I would also say that this goes to mistake number 3. People assume that once they have to take RMDs, that they are stuck, right? And that they can't do Roth conversions. And that really is a mistake, right? The reason why we do Roth conversions is because we have to take these required minimum distributions. And these required minimum distributions, if you don't need to live off of the money, ends up draining your account while you're still alive and can be a whole lot of taxes for no good reason. Having said that, though, the way those RMDs are structured, it starts at about 4% at age 73. Gets to about 5% by time you're age 80. However, it's between age 80 and 90 where it really accelerates. It ends up becoming almost 12% of the account value. And then once you're over 90, it becomes like 25% of the account value every year. However, there's still opportunity to convert, because if you have a large balance and you know that you're going to have these RMDs, or you want to leave it to your kids, right? And you know, right, they're at their peak earning career, they're making, $100, $200, $300,000 a year. And you're now going to leave them $1 million or $2 million in IRA accounts that they're going to have to take out within 10 years. 50% of that, right? 37, 47, depending on if they've got state taxes, that's going to go straight to the IRS. Well, if that's the case, right, that is a case for why you would want to do the Roth conversions while you're alive and you're in the 22% tax bracket. But it's still, you're saving 20% on taxes.
Exactly.
Just making these assumptions of any one of these rules, right, it's a recipe for you spending more money than you should on taxes.
You mentioned taxes. What about Medicare and Social Security? How does that complicate a Roth decision?
Yeah, so you have IRMAA, which is, I usually call it a red herring, but it's when you make too much money, we get a Medicare surcharge, right? Well, guess what? That Medicare surcharge is no different than taxes, right? And so it may be worthwhile paying that extra penalty to not pay more in taxes later. However, if all your money is sitting in high yield savings, right, then you're probably never going to recoup the cost of doing all this conversions. And so for you, it might not be worth doing it. The other thing also you got to keep in mind is with Social Security, right, is that before you take Social Security, you have all this room in your tax bracket to be able to convert or spend, right? And people often make the assumption, well, I got to do a Roth conversion, right? And I got to take my money from my IRA to my Roth account, and that's the only way to reduce my taxes down the road. But the truth is spending has the same impact as Roth conversions. And if by spending the money and deferring Social Security, it ends up with more money in your pocket and paying less taxes, then that might be the right call for you. Mm-hmm. Right? Again, it depends on everyone's individual situation, right? If you come to me and you're single, that's a very different than somebody comes to me, they're married, filing jointly, and they're living on their modest amount. If you're spending more than what your Social Security is and you're single, well, then maybe Roth conversions isn't the best idea, but you know what? Maybe we'll get you a life insurance policy so that your grandkids have money to pay the taxes. And maybe you have some long-term care benefits. Not that I sell life insurance or long-term care, but it's, for the right person, sometimes that's the best solution.
All the more reason to have a real clear eye when you're going through this. And a lot of this seems to be talking about timing, Leibel. Talk about the timing and why pacing is so critical with Roth conversions.
Yeah, when it comes to taxes in general, like when we talk about the investing, we say don't time the market. When it comes to Roth conversions, we say time the market, right? You absolutely want to time the market. And it is one of the biggest mistakes that we see people make is that they'll convert everything in the beginning of the year or the end of the year. But the truth is that you want to, when the market goes down, right, that loss, that paper loss, that becomes your friend. Because the same thing that we're afraid of making us run out of money in retirement, well, that accelerates our conversion opportunities, right? If on Monday we would convert 100 shares, right, but then it goes down by 10%, well, guess what? Now we can convert 110 shares, right? That allows us to accelerate and reduce our account value quicker. And when it converts, it goes up, right? So it gives us a discount on that conversion. And I know this sounds a little weird and complicated, and it's counterintuitive because if it was intuitive, everyone would do it. And guess what? Congress would stop you from doing it.
That's right.
So that's why you got to talk to someone like me who, we've got the software and we've got the understanding and we can map this out for you. And we can show you, hey, this is what makes sense to do given your personal situation. And then we can talk about what the opportunities are. But again, right, if you're not invested in a way where you can capitalize on any of that stuff, then it doesn't matter, right? Because maybe it does make sense for you to not convert or to convert everything all at once because that is your personal situation. But until you get that personal analysis, and feel free, I'm sure the people we talk to, they're talking to lots of different advisors and getting lots of different opinions. But you need to make sure that the advice that you're getting is specific to you and not some generic advice that is, sells more of the product that they're trying to sell.
Makes a lot of sense. So what are the tenets of a well-designed Roth conversion process that's actually involved? It sounds like taking stock of your individual circumstances being one.
Yeah. So the thing that you want to do is you want to take a look at where you are today financially. What does the future look? Project that out. And then you want to look at, okay, what are my strengths, weaknesses, threats, and opportunities? What are the things that could upset me financially, right? What are the things that are realistic for me? What are those low-hanging fruits? What are those things that, if Congress changed, if interest rates go down, inflation goes up, right? What are the things that are really going to impact me? And for your personal situation, given where you are, where your investments are, how you're allocated, what your health is like, right? What your estate plan is like, right? You got no kids, then the Roth conversions probably ain't a good idea, right? Mm-hmm. Maybe a little bit, but everyone's different. Depends what you're looking to do. If you give a lot of charity, if you got a lot of real estate, you own businesses, right? Or you want to own businesses, different set of tools in your toolbox to use. So you want to have a plan that's personal for you. That's what we do, right? We got a free retirement and tax SWOT analysis. Take us up on it. What we do is we create a financial plan just for you based on your unique circumstances. What we do is more comprehensive than most advisors charge for, and we do it 100% free. It's our pleasure. It's part of our mission to help 1 million people retire with financial security.
Wow, that's big. We got to leave it right there. But if you'd like more information, just go to yields4u.com. Yields, the number 4, the letter U, Roth.com. Now I know you'll remember. And Roth conversions do work best, as you've heard, when they're planned, when they're paced, and when they're coordinated with the rest of your retirement strategy. Avoiding these common mistakes, as you've heard, can protect income, reduce taxes, and create what we all need is some flexibility. A clear process makes all the difference in the world. I'm Freddie Bell. He's Leibel Sternbach, and this is Leibel on Fire.
If you would like to see how the Yields for You team can help you get off the Wall Street roller coaster and save you money on taxes so you can live the life of your dreams, book an appointment online at yieldsforyou.com or call 410-914-4894.
Yields for You is a registered investment advisor in the state of New York and only transacts business in states where the firm is properly registered or is excluded or exempted from registration requirements. Registration as an investment advisor is not an endorsement. Information presented on this program is believed to be factual and up to date, but we do not guarantee its accuracy, and it should not be regarded as a complete analysis of the subjects discussed. Discussion should not be construed as an offer to buy or sell or solicitation of any offer to buy or sell the investments mentioned. Annuity guarantees are subject to the claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. Content should not be viewed as legal or tax advice. Always consult an attorney or tax professional regarding your specific legal or tax situation.